What happens when a World Cup match is so flat that even Zlatan Ibrahimovic says he could not stay awake? Belgium versus Iran was supposed to be a tense Group G battle. Belgium needed a statement. Iran needed survival. Both teams had everything to play for. But by full time, the biggest talking point was not a wonder goal, not a tactical masterclass, and not a heroic comeback. It was Zlatan's brutal verdict. Speaking on Fox Sports after Belgium's 0-0 draw with Iran, the former Manchester United striker delivered one of the coldest one-liners of the tournament. In the first half, I almost fell asleep. In the second half, I fell asleep. And he was not alone. Over on ITV, Roy Keane watched the same game and came to an equally savage conclusion. He called it rubbish. So how did a crucial World Cup clash turn into one of the most heavily criticized matches of the tournament? Let's break it down. Belgium came into this game already under pressure. Rudy Garcia's side had made a difficult start to the World Cup, and they needed a convincing performance to steady the mood around the team. On paper, Belgium controlled the match. They had 68% possession. They fired off 22 shots. They spent long stretches in Iran's half. But possession means very little when the final touch is missing. Belgium kept moving the ball, kept searching for openings, kept trying to force the breakthrough, but when they reached the final third, the quality disappeared. The passing was not sharp enough. The movement was not decisive enough. The decision-making was too slow. And that was exactly what Roy Keane could not accept. Speaking on ITV, Keane said the standard of the game was really bad. He pointed to Belgium's passing, movement, and choices on the ball, saying they were all so poor. For a team with Belgium's reputation, this was not just disappointing. It was alarming. They had chances. They had moments. They had the numbers. But they did not have conviction. Keane was especially scathing about missed opportunities from close range. His message was simple. When players are missing chances from 3 or 4 yards out, what chance do you really have? He also highlighted one specific miss from De Kuyper, saying it summed up Belgium's performance. No conviction in the finish, no conviction in the general play. And that word conviction became the story of Belgium's night. They looked like a team with the ball, but not a team with belief. Meanwhile, Iran approached the match very differently. They were happy to sit deep, stay compact, and defend. They knew Belgium would have the ball. They knew the pressure would come. But Iran also knew something else. A point could keep their knockout hopes alive. So they protected the space, stayed disciplined, and turned the match into a battle of patience. Belgium were frustrated. Iran stayed organized, and as the minutes ticked by, the game became slower, tighter, and increasingly difficult to watch. That was when Zlatan Ibrahimovic stepped in with the line that instantly stole the headlines. On Fox Sports, he said there was not much to talk about. In the first half, I almost fell asleep. In the second half, I fell asleep. Then he added, another draw. I'll let my colleagues discuss this one. Host Rebecca Lowe laughed and replied that they were glad he stayed awake. But the joke landed because so many viewers were probably thinking the same thing. This was not the explosive World Cup drama fans expected. It was a tense, scrappy, frustrating stalemate. And then came the moment that should have changed everything. Belgium's Nathan Ngoy was sent off, leaving his side with 10 men. Suddenly, Iran had the extra player. In theory, that should have been their chance to take control, push forward, and punish Belgium's shaky performance. But instead, the game became even stranger. Roy Keane said that when Iran had the extra man, they almost did not know what to do with it. Before the red card, Iran's job was clear. Sit deep and defend. After the red card, the situation changed, but Iran struggled to use the advantage. They had more opportunity, but not enough attacking clarity. Belgium were there to be hurt. Iran had a chance to turn 1 point into 3, but the decisive moment never came, and that is what made this game so frustrating. Belgium had the ball, but not the cutting edge. Iran had the extra man, but not the attacking confidence. Both teams had a path to victory, but neither could take it. For Belgium, this draw is a serious warning sign. 2 games into the World Cup, they have just 2 points. They are sitting third in the group behind Egypt, who have 4 points, and Iran. That is a dangerous position for a team that came into the tournament with much bigger expectations. They now know the equation is uncomfortable. To reach the knockouts, Belgium must avoid defeat against New Zealand, and they also need Egypt to beat Iran. That is not where Belgium wanted to be. They wanted control. Now they need help. They wanted momentum. Now they face pressure. They wanted a World Cup statement. Instead, they got Zlatan saying he fell asleep and Roy Keane calling the match rubbish. And when two of football's most outspoken figures agree on something, the criticism becomes impossible to ignore. Zlatan made it sound like a joke. Keane made it sound like a warning. But both were pointing at the same issue. Belgium did not look dangerous enough. They had possession without purpose, shots without sharpness, control without a killer instinct. And in a World Cup group stage, that can be fatal. Because at this level, chances do not keep coming forever. One bad finish can cost you. One flat performance can change the group. One dull draw can leave a team fighting for survival. Iran, on the other hand, will probably see this differently. Yes, they failed to make full use of the extra man, but they kept Belgium out. They earned another point, and they kept their knockout hopes alive. For the underdogs, that matters. For Belgium, it feels like another missed opportunity. So the final whistle left two very different emotions. Iran could walk away with belief, knowing they had frustrated a major football nation and kept themselves alive in Group G. Belgium walked away with questions. Why so many shots, but no goal? Why so much possession, but so little quality? Why did a team chasing the knockouts look so uncertain in the final third? And above all, can Belgium still rescue their World Cup campaign before it slips away? Zlatan Ibrahimovic summed up the entertainment value in one brutal line. Roy Keane summed up the football quality in one brutal word. But for Belgium, this was more than a boring draw. It was a warning. Their next match against New Zealand is now loaded with pressure. Avoid defeat, and they still have a chance. Slip again, and the consequences could be huge. The World Cup does not wait for teams to wake up. And after this 0-0 draw, Belgium need to wake up fast.